Hey, how are you guys?
Good, Jim. How you doing?
Wonderful. Welcome to Detroit. I know you were back here earlier this year, so it was yeah. So
Yeah.
welcome
I was
back,
at a
man.
fantastic fan con there. That was wonderful.
And it was funny. It took them 18 seconds to ask you a question about Coney dogs. I love that. It's the most Detroit thing we do.
Yeah,
Can't help
exactly.
ourselves.
Right.
We're like, "Welcome to
Yeah.
Detroit. You want a Coney?" Like easy.
You know
Um,
what's funny? I had one in the airport on the way out because
Yay,
yeah, it
we
was
win.
yeah. It's like put the bug in my ear. It was like I gotta have one of these.
Speaking of food, this is a segue. I think it's a pretty good one. With A2, this movie as Brent, you make a meal out of this. This is a character to me that you could have been very one-dimensional, but you're not. You scared the crap out of me in this. Where do you
Yeah.
go when you're playing that role? Do you go to a like I've never been an actor. Where do you go when you're playing a role like that?
Wow. It's interesting. I mean, it's all in the preparation, and seeing this guy and developing him. He's a director for everybody to know. He's mounted a production of Julius Caesar. And not only is he, really on edge about the production, but he thinks that the young hunk playing Brutus is stooping his wife. So, in a very Shakespearean fashion,
Oh
his
yeah.
his insecurity, his ambition, his paranoia, his jealousy, all of that comes into it. And so he's pretentious, he's elitist, he's purist, but there's something to really love about him because he really is an artist and he's all about the art. Um, and so whenever you play a role like this, I played Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. I tell young actors whenever I'm teaching, sometimes it's like you cannot judge the character. You have to embrace their worldview. You have to figure out how their mind works, and then commit to the bit, as it were. And that's what you do. And I have to say, Max Janis wrote a wonderful script. He
Really
wrote
did.
ridiculously long monologues, but Brent is so articulate and so pointed in what he has to say as a director. And that was kind of easy to wrap my head around because I've worked with a lot of people. Fortunately, nobody as psychotic as Brent, but certainly a lot of people who are driven and who are very, very demanding.
Well, I'm sure that between theater and film and everything that you've done, Lou, that you glean a little bit from people. I don't think Brent's an exact person, but maybe an amalgamation of all these people. But I did want to ask about Malcolm McDowell. Do you like if I'm talking? We're a classic rock station. If I'm in a room with Bob Seger or I'm talking to any of these people, I get lost in the moment and I'm like, oh dear God, I'm talking to Bob Seger. If you're doing a scene with Malcolm McDowell, is there some little voice in the back of your head going, "Oh dear God, that's Malcolm McDowell. I better be good. I better be good. I better be good."
100%. Are you
Okay,
kidding?
cool. Like, thank you. That's good to
Yeah,
know.
no, I mean with his decades long experience and a lot of the iconic performances he's given, and and I understand that Malcolm doesn't like everybody, but he likes me, so thank goodness. But I mean what you see on the screen and Max shot this almost like a play. I mean there are a lot of wide shots, a lot of two shots, not a lot of coverage, so there wasn't a safety net. I mean you really had to bring it and do long chunks of scenes, which is a little different than a lot of other films. And so that rhythm, that chemistry, that was really happening with Malcolm, and it was a real joy. But I mean that's the challenge. That going in, it's like okay, I can't slack off here, or somebody's going to eat my lunch.
It's to video on demand. Everybody, you need to watch this. Sit down. This to me is another what I call a movie dinner. So you sit down, watch the movie, and then afterwards you get something to eat and talk about it because there's a lot going on in this film, and I mean you're aware of it as well. Um, what movie scares you?
Oh my, it's so funny because my daughter, Indigo, she's 17 now, and she was like starting to get into some horror stuff. And so I'm introducing her to things, right? And like Jaws. Jaws was the first one. I mean, again, just a brilliant film. Alien, the first one,
Yeah.
set the bar, I think, for a lot of, modern day horror. Um, there's a lot of other fun stuff. Yeah, I was in a horror film recently with Frank Grillo called Werewolves, which was out in theaters last December, and I think he's also streaming. I'm a fan of the genre. I'm a fan of the genre, and so it's fun, and there are many different kinds. I tend to lean toward the psychological, kind of horror films. Um, Watching people unravel, that's always
It's
fun.
it's hard to explain to people. Like my son's 22 and he's a college student here in Detroit and he loves film. He loves movie. And to get him to watch Blair Witch, but I couldn't tell him anything about it. I said, just
No,
watch it.
yeah,
Because if you tell someone you've sixth sensed it, you've ruined the movie.
a
But
hundred
once you
percent.
watch it, you're like, holy crap, this is insanity that they did this.
And a great concept, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the thing about it too, is it reminded me a lot of the,
That's where I was going with this.
the
Absolutely.
Vincent Price revenge films of the
Yeah.
60s and 70s. It felt like a throwback to me, a little more classic, which it's you have your slasher films, you have your thrillers or whatever, your psychological thrillers. Some people have said that too is a bit like The Shining meets Birdman. So I think that's a rather
Wow.
accurate description.
That is a great whoever writ that's fantastic. Absolutely. And you're right. I do love the shots. It's funny. I think as I watch more and more movies, as I get older and stuff and having a son who's into film, I tend to watch cinematography more than I ever did growing up. And I don't know where that started, but I notice these things. And there's some really beautifully shot movies, and this is one of them.
Yeah, on a budget. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing too. I think Max and his whole team, his cinematographer, his composer, they're all buddies, and that was one of the other things that I loved about doing this film is that not only, that I know I was dealing with some artists on their way up who are hungry and ambitious and really, really, have a point of view. A lot of the cast, other than me and Malcolm, are young actors, and this was a bit of a way to, pass the torch.
I love it. Etu out on video on demand. It's the world we live in now, and I think it's fantastic. This is a wonderful film. You should be so proud of this. Can I give you an elevator pitch? You ready?
Yeah, hit me.
Okay, I got this. So we've been sitting around talking about all the movies that are out now. There's so many sequels, and everything's trying to figure out like what movies could you do. And obviously there were a couple of Young Gun movies, but I have a crossover one. You ready?
Okay.
Trouble in Time. No, Tumble Through Time is what I want to go with as the title.
Okay.
It involves a rip in the space-time continuum, and you guys wind up in the same world with Doc and Marty from Back to the Future 3.
That's hilarious, and there's confusion because every time we say Doc, Kiefer and Christopher
See,
go, yes.
you get it. And the only person who trusts Marty is you because Chavez is going, he's a good guy. Billy wants to shoot him. Dirty Steve wants to wreck the DeLorean.
I
No
like
one
it.
trusts them. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
cross over with both these guys. You could do it. It would be awesome.
Although we are doing Young Guns 3. It's
Stop.
happening.
It
No,
is
it's happening.
happening?
Yeah, it's happening. Emilio wrote the script. He will direct it. We're supposed to start shooting in the fall.
Okay. See what I did? I drew that out of you, just like a good acting coach like Brent would in it too. See,
It's
you draw that out of them.
nice.
Hey, you're always welcome here in Detroit. If you want conies, have your publicist get a hold of me. I'll ship you from American Coney. Seriously, we
That's
do
excellent.
coney kits for Christmas. We mail them out. If you guys want one, we'll get them to you.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, I'm
Lou,
watching.
it's an honor, absolute honor. Congrats on everything, man. All the best.
Thank you, brother.